All right, we're back.
5 days in a row, I think.
Yeah. Your
What
Honor,
are we gonna do once sessions, actually, like real sessions, normal sessions, start up again?
I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna handle it. Well, I believe that the plan was to. I believe that we left off with the two of with Derek telling Penance stories before they decide before going to bed.
I
Taylor,
believe so.
were you here for Penance being shockingly normal about the whip?
Yes, I was here for the majority of that.
Okay. Um. Well, in that case, I suppose that we left off with the two of them, um, cuddled into each other and going to sleep. And we're planning to start up with the following day when you intend to go on a short expedition outside the walls?
I think so.
Okay. That's a wonderful plan.
I don't like the way that you said that.
Shame that's not what's
I don't
happening,
like
though.
the music that you put on.
Derek?
God, why was the music really loud for like 2 seconds and now it's nothing?
Because it was a new tab and it had a different volume setting. There you go. That's in the middle now.
Ah,
Derek!
perfect. Now I can hear the music. Yay.
Um, you are being awoken in the middle of the night.
Uh-oh. Why?
At first, you're not quite sure what it is, before you can feel something, like, twitch and press against your arm. You sort of blink your head
I wondered if this
open,
was gonna happen.
as you can see Penance, like, in her sleep, flinch hard to one side, and then flinch the other way. You start to feel pressure against your chest as you can see her arching her back, like, painfully, and then quickly contract it back. Her limbs, like, starting to twitch as she curls slightly around her stomach. Her stomach just starts spasming, and she begins to. You can't really scream quite as much in your sleep, but she starts to.
Penance, hey. Not shaking her, but like gently, like touching her face, like, hey.
Penance will sort of startle, like, half awake and push rapidly against you, sort of still um, flinching and twisting. She still seems not fully awake.
And wake up, come on.
She's going to. Are you going to.
Let's get that.
Hmm? What did you.
Uh-oh. Hello? There we are.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay, there we
are. Cut out. Discord's being mean to me.
Um. If you.
Okay, I'm gonna kill the stream real quick. Try again.
7, and I'm also hearing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Am I back? Here,
I think so. Try for a longer sentence.
Actually, let me go ahead and rejoin call real quick. Hello, how am I doing?
Hi, you sound better, but we'll see.
Okay, I'm gonna try streaming. Do I still sound fine?
So far.
Okay, and we've got music as well. Am I still good?
You got a little squeaky for a second, but keep going.
Okay. If you are you going to shake her or She still seems to be...
Just a little. It's more like touch and hold than shaking, but...
When you grasp onto her to hold her, you can see her sort of startle awake, and with surprising force, you can see her the nails on her hands quickly extending into full claws as she just claws directly at you. You see this, it takes you a second to react because you were not expecting this to happen, and you pull away just in time to leave, for her 3 of her fingers to leave light gashes along your cheek.
Letting her go. Penance, hey, it's okay. It's me. It's Derek.
What? You're injured. Right. You're injured.
Right. It's okay. It's nothing. It's just a scratch. Alright.
How'd that... What's happening?
Deep breaths. You were having a nightmare.
Oh.
Just breathe. Just breathe for a second.
You can see the now claws on her fingers switch back to nails as she puts both of her hands sort of onto her midriff. Okay. I was... Can you hold me?
Come here. Come here. Just breathe. Deep breaths.
Okay.
You're gonna be okay.
Okay.
You're safe.
Okay. Oh, I was dreaming about... It happened again. I thought I wouldn't have nightmares anymore if you were here.
I told you it's not that simple. Not usually, not for most of us. I'm sorry. I wish it was.
What's the...
I'm gonna...
Oh, you're bleeding.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's like, I'm gonna just brush a hand over my cheek and just burn off a couple of point or two, whatever you think is appropriate of lay on hands. Alright, just heal that off.
That is... A normal person has 4 hit points.
Yeah, that's fair.
What?
See, it's nothing.
What happened?
You didn't wake up immediately. I think you thought I was part of the nightmare.
Oh. Oh.
It's just a scratch. Hey, no, don't go blaming yourself.
But...
You didn't hurt me, and even if you had, it's not your fault.
But even after you let me, and then I shouldn't have been... The contract... Wait... Oh... Summoning... But you... I'm sorry.
It's okay. You didn't mean to.
I'm sorry.
It's tighter, like... It's not your fault, hon.
Okay. She begins. You start to feel her pull away as she does the now slightly familiar shrinks again. She's already started shrinking. She shrunk before when you first started, when you decided to go to sleep. You're not sure if she unshrunk when she fell asleep or if she's shrinking time squared now, but
Doesn't matter. Not the time to question it.
You still want to hold me? Cause
You can stay here as long as you want.
Okay.
It's not your fault.
I don't want to go home.
Yeah, I bet. I know.
I can already feel it pulling.
I wish you didn't have to.
I can already feel it pulling me. I don't want to go home. Can I stay here tonight? All of tonight?
You want me to pull you back right away tonight?
Yeah.
I can do that.
I don't care if people notice. Could you? I'll go back and can you pull me right back?
I will.
Okay. You have the somewhat unsettling feeling of her turning to ash in your arms.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you meant like right now, this second.
She does indeed turn into ash that then vanishes into the wind.
I think I will, like, sit up before, calling her back.
You call her back?
Well, if we're lucky, maybe no one will see.
You call her back to see her sprawled on the floor in approximately the same position it seems she went home in.
Oh no. Oh, hun. He just says that out loud, just... Oh, hun. Release you from your restrictions and greet you as an equal. Come here. He's gonna stand up and just pick her up. Scoop.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Where are we going?
I think back to bed. Just sits back down, like, okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. sorry for waking you up.
Run that one by me again. I did not catch that.
I'm sorry for waking you up.
Better I wake up and be able to help than not wake up at all.
Oh, I suppose. If that's what you'd prefer.
It is.
Okay.
Is there anything I can do?
Hold me.
I meant other than that.
Tighter?
Tighter?
Tighter.
Oh. That makes more sense. Sorry. I knew I couldn't have heard you
What
right.
did you hear?
Spider.
Ah,
Like that.
that's not
Nothing.
right. No, tighter.
That makes more sense. Yeah, I can do that.
She, doesn't have much more, to say. She's going to, return to being nonverbal unless prompted, and just sort of curl in on herself a bit and into you.
They do get somewhat less with time, I promise. But it does take time.
Okay. Okay. Mm. This helps. It makes me feel safe. I think that's what this feels. That's what you call this. I don't know if I'm gonna fall back asleep, but you can if you want. Just stay here.
And stay here as long as you want.
Okay. Would you like to do anything other than hold her the way you normally do? Or just hold?
No, I think that's it.
Well, in that case, Penance is going to stay that way. Pretty much the same for a while. If you close your eyes or stop moving, she will. After a few minutes, you can feel her tail start to wind around one of your arms again.
That's okay. This time I'm pretty confident it is. Just need as much physical contact as possible, please.
Well, are you going to try to stay awake, or are you going to just stay there and holding her and let yourself fall back to sleep if you can manage to fall back asleep?
I think I'm gonna stay up for a little while, but not too long. Like, after, like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, it's like, okay, we're no longer in active crisis.
Alright, I won't ask for a constitution roll to stay awake then, and you can... You notice that during those 10 to 15 minutes, you notice that it's hard to tell if Penance is sleeping. As it seems she doesn't change as much when she is asleep or when she's simply holding mostly still. But
yeah.
After those 10 or 15 minutes, eventually you drift back to sleep. And you can awaken in the morning in, again, a new position. Well, no, actually. No, you're familiar with this one. You were holding Penance yesterday. You are holding Penance again. Although, this time, as you stir to wakefulness, you don't try moving immediately, which is good, because you realize her tail is still wrapped around your left arm.
Just kind of shift slightly just to let her know I'm awake, mostly.
Do you move your left arm when you shift, or do you just...
No, I don't think so.
Is it morning? Good morning.
How are you feeling?
Better. Oh. Surreptitiously starts to slowly unwind her tail from your arm.
Oh good, I don't have to point it out.
You can notice the way that she does this is by first picking up the tail tip vertically, and then moving it off, then moving the rest of her tail off of your arm. This is different from how she wound it up your arm, which was with the tail tip in contact the whole time, although only the flat side.
Better is good. Did you get any sleep at all?
It would seem so. You woke me up. So I guess I managed to fall asleep at some point. And I guess the nightmares didn't come back, so that's good.
Good. That's good.
I'm sorry about waking you up.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Derek, go ahead and make a wisdom roll for me. Okay. And you're pretty familiar with fighting, so you can make this conclusion now that you're actually awake and also have some time to think about it as opposed to being in crisis mode. With how badly she was flinching, like, it wasn't she was flinching away, her whole body was, like, jerking to the side, like the way one would from a weapon impact. Not like someone, not just from. Do you know what I mean? Where there's like flinching away from pain as opposed to just when you're getting struck by something?
Mm-hmm. Like there's physical impact involved, not just imagined.
Mm-hmm. Although she was dreaming, so she might have been reenacting. But, like, clearly there was no physical force involved. She was dreaming. But the size of the movement was too much for, like, just the body's normal response, if that makes sense. She wasn't flinching, she was jerking. So, what now?
Are you alright is a stupid question. Are you hurting after that? That seemed like a lot.
No, I mean, this is how I used to normally wake up, so I'm fine. It goes away when I wake up.
Right, if you say so. God, what I wouldn't give for a diagnosis power, but the closest thing I've got is detect magic, which is not what I'm looking for.
Well,
I mean, it could be what I'm looking for. Boy, I hope it's not what I'm looking for.
Using the incredible magical spell called the Mark I Eyeball, you can see that she's subconsciously holding one of her hands to the right side of her midriff, like over her skirt. But other than that, she seems fine.
Kind of gesture to the spot, like,
No, no.
Alright?
Yeah. It's, uh, as you do, her hand will jerk away violently and end up behind her. Yeah, I'm fine. Like I said, it goes away once I wake up, so... I know... No, I might sound, but I am fine.
If you say so.
Yeah, no, no, that's... I... I'm a little nervous, but it's something else. It's not me still feeling bad. So, do we want to get breakfast?
Yeah, we can do that. What is you hiding, girl? Now is not the time to press.
having? I can heat up whatever it is.
I think I lost everything to the first. There you are.
Hello. She said, what are we having?
Probably something similar to yesterday. I'll see what I can scrounge up. Maybe a little bit more put together.
Alright, just let me know if you want to heat something up.
Thanks. Be nice, actually, so.
Beams. Oh, goodbye?
Breakfast was just too much for them.
Taylor was slain. I presume they will return if able. And they do. Welcome back.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I was having trouble getting it to switch from the car stereo to my headset.
Ah, happens.
Well, Penance can help you, heat up food to have a nice breakfast. You had some, like, you actually, you could have either bacon or eggs, which are things you normally could not have unless you were at, like, an inn, because those basically need to be hot. And it is often impractical to light a fire.
Egg, my favorite breakfast.
I mean, as a half-orc, you have eaten raw egg as a breakfast before, and you were fine.
Yeah, it's like, you can. And you shouldn't, but you can.
No, actually, your parents, I don't know exactly your parents' situation, but, orcs can just eat raw meat just fine, and some of them they actually often prefer the taste if it's a fresh kill. Half-orcs you can just take egg, eat egg, hum. It just doesn't taste very good. So it's a bit of a waste of an egg, because eggs are pretty expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Waste of a perfectly good egg.
However,
Bacon.
yeah, you can have either bacon or eggs, or eggs, because
I really want to splurge.
do you want to splurge?
I'll just have bacon. That's fine.
Consider Penance has had neither bacon nor eggs.
That's why I want to space it out.
Mmm.
This is strategic.
I see. Very clever. Oh, wow, this is very good.
Can't have it without a fire, so thank you very much.
Of course. Yeah, this is much... It's not tingly the way Hellbore is. Because you said bacon, I believe, right?
Yeah. Boy, I bet.
It's much better. And I guess I can have as much of this as I want. I mean, well, as much as you can get, because I guess it's probably more expensive if they don't, you know, reform.
Yeah. Not too bad. All things considered.
Well, so was the plan... Are we going out on a trip today, or are we staying home for a bit, or...
I don't know. 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 Well, I was planning on heading out today, but that depends on when we feel up to it. We can always put it off a day or two.
Could we?
No rush. Yeah, we're not on a time limit.
I feel fine, but I don't know, I just kind of want to spend a day with you.
Yeah, I'd want the day off too.
Silly as that sounds.
Not silly at all.
Oh, I thought of something.
Hmm?
You know, sort of like fire. I could also create water too. We don't.
Oh, well, that'll be handy as hell out there.
Yeah.
Since we don't have to bring as much with us.
I hadn't even thought of that.
What were you thinking?
Oh, I was thinking we don't have a tub or anything, but if you got one, I could make enough to make a bath.
Ooh, fancy.
And then we could either dump the water, or I suppose I could boil it all.
A big pot of soup. No, that's a bad idea. That's a joke. That's a joke.
When you're half demon, a water disposal method is just turn it all into steam.
Yeah. And then you have a sauna after your bath, which is the order those should go in, for sure.
I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in.
Good to keep in mind, if nothing else.
Oh, and yeah. I remembered that you wanted to go make those donations, but maybe later.
Yeah, I think that's probably another day.
Okay.
Which reminds me, actually.
Hmm?
If you either we can reset the timer, as it were, now. You can go home for a few minutes and I'll pull you back, or you can just spend more time there tonight, whatever you prefer.
I wouldn't want to waste a whole summoning on that. I'll just, push it a little later than normal today, and so that we can still when you go to sleep, and then I'll head back. Maybe a little earlier, or maybe, staying up here longer than I normally do. Like I said, I can stay for the whole 24 hours. It's just hard, so I often leave earlier, but I can leave a little later. It's alright.
As long as you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, I'll be good. I know I'm the one who suggested it, but I'm realizing that I don't exactly know what I was planning to, do today. I just wanted to spend the day here, in here, with you, and that's sort of as far as I got.
Well... Could... Question, actually, before I suggest anything. This feels like a stupid question, but can you take things home from the library, or is it a read it there kind of thing?
Read it there. You cannot take books out of the building.
That was kind of the impression I got.
Books are typically at least 1 gold a pop.
Yeah. Expensive.
Expensive. Because you can't print those, you have to write them.
Yep.
I mean, there are some quills that can do copying, but those are magic items, which are also quite expensive, so...
Yeah, that doesn't solve the problem.
I suppose that you could tell me more stories. Although I wouldn't want to run you out. I offer to share some of mine, but I don't think they'd be as fun to listen to.
Well... We'll fix that eventually.
Well, maybe. But
Yeah.
even if we did, I still wouldn't be able to tell you any, because you'd have been there.
Well, maybe so. Yeah, I'm sure we can burn some time with that. Play some I can show you some different card games.
Yeah, I think you'll need to show me them. I'm pretty good at poker. At not poker, because poker's actually a pretty late invention. But I think that you...
Didn't the sauce play a game of strip poker?
Oh, yeah, no, poker does just straight up exist. Because, and you're about to hear why. Although I think you probably wouldn't want to play by the rules that I was taught.
Concern?
Oh, well, part of the reason I'm good is there's a card game that involves removing your clothing, and because Succubi, well, I've only got a 2-piece outfit, so I need to be pretty good if I want to win.
Yeah, maybe let's skip that one, but I bet. I wonder how many things are, paralleled between where you're from and where I'm from. Versus how many things are just completely different and unique.
Like, for the rules for that? I mean, the game I was taught... Well, the game I was taught is a game up here. I was taught because, well, from the other Succubi, you know, sometimes you want to lose, or, you know, there are different ways you might want to take that game, but to have all the options on the table, you need to be able to win. So, it was one of the things we learned.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think they also just enjoyed the game and used it to pass the time, too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I actually kind of liked it. It was one of the things that I could keep up with them on. why don't we go with a little less deception-y game?
Yeah, I'm gonna... So let's see how many I can come up with before I run out. How about that?
Well, in that case, you can start teaching Penance various card games.
I think it's a day for burning time on doing nothing very deliberately.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes you just need to deliberately do nothing for a bit.
Penance is more than happy to take quite a while with all of the games because she doesn't know any of them and enjoys. And once you explain one to her, she does like to play it for a bit and won't actually suggest that you. And she will not suggest that you ever switch games, although I suspect you might be suggesting.
Yeah.
I do have some bad news, which is that she picks up the games really quick. Some of them you decide to switch games because you rapidly notice her starting to become better than you.
Yeah, she's got a high-end score, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Half Fiend'll do that to you.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's almost like cheating. Don't look at the costs. Don't look at the costs. Just don't.
Don't look at the cost. Don't even worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. No downsides to this at all.
No, surely not. Well, with card games and perhaps some of the books in the library, you can easily pass the whole day here.
Excellent.
You can also make both lunch and dinner. Penance asks if you're able to make pastries at home.
It's like, me personally, no. In theory, yes.
Maybe we'll have to learn sometime then.
Maybe so. I have no idea how complicated a process that is.
And it definitely involves asking someone who knows how, so, for another time. We've got other things to think about right now. Well, is there anything else you'd like to do on this nice, lazy day?
I don't think anything specific, no.
Well, in that case, the rest of the day can pass with card games, meals, cooking for meals. You end up cooking for dinner twice because you've got plenty of time and you're like, why don't we, Penance, do you want to try out learning something, a new cooking technique? And she's like, sure, and it goes poorly. So you have to kind of do it over again. But she's learning.
No.
And then you can eventually head to bed on the cots again, holding her close. I have good news, Derek.
Oh good, I would love some good news.
You wake up with your back feeling a bit sore because you've fallen asleep in the same hunched over, like, oh wait, Pen has vanished on me position. This is good news because it means nothing happened tonight.
Yeah.
Your back isn't sore, it's just a little stiff.
Yeah, it's fine, I'll live.
I mean, a simple solution is to have her sleep on top of you or you sleep on top of her, but I feel like you aren't going to suggest that.
No, this is fine.
Well, if you stretch out a bit and de-stiffen your back, what would you like to do?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna start by, once again, pulling her back, etc., etc.
From, hey, Derek!
It's like, this has become routine at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Release you from your restrictions, yada yada yada.
You know, actually saying I release you from your restrictions, yada yada yada, might actually work even better. I don't know. Well, so, are you going to go do the donations? Maybe buy anything you might want? And then come back and we heading out today?
Yeah, I think that's probably, about the plan.
Alright. How about you grab something, and I'm going to do my best to make you a more full breakfast for when you get back.
Sure, why not?
Well, you can grab, like, some bread. And head out. As you can see, Penance remain in the kitchen. Uh-oh.
Well, you're back now. You were cutting out a bit, but I think it all came through, just delayed.
Okay. Well, what would you like to do? As you can see, Penance, start to get working in the kitchen.
Well, I think I'm gonna start out by going to my own god shrine. That feels like good practice.
Correct!
I think that feels polite. I don't have any specific, like, scenes, conversations to have here. I just kind of want to drop off some money. Like, okay, well,
The priests
I've come into a big enough influx of income that it feels like I should.
Go ahead. We
You were getting today.
Uh, hmm. Is there anything I can do to... Okay, let me try this.
Double check that there are no downloads happening in the background.
Yeah.
This also includes double checking other devices to confirm that they are not doing any uploads or downloads in the background. Such as if you have your phone set to automatically back up, you want to turn that off.
I think that it's actually probably not my internet speed, but my computer's processing power that's the limiting factor. So I've closed some of the things running in the background.
Quite possibly.
Okay, What I'm going to do is something a little more... Give me a second, I'm just going to restart my computer. That should fix these problems. I will be right back. I'm also going to have to break the recording in two halves. I will do that.